What's up, guys? Welcome to what I believe is week number 6 of my fall programming. I'm going to be making a couple of changes to how I structure these videos since I can't seem to stay caught up on producing a separate training video for each of my different sessions during the week. So what you're going to see here is a weekly recap from last week, including some of the final warm-up sets and most of the top working sets on my main lifts. This won't include a 4th accessory day, which has been going on this whole time, but I don't always train that session at my gym, so it doesn't normally get filmed, but I'll kind of talk you through what I'm going to be doing with that. What you're seeing here is a top set of 415 for 5. Everything moved pretty smoothly on this. I did get a little bit out of groove towards the end, so you can see that I shut it down at 5 reps. When I could have probably gotten a 6th or maybe a 7th, but it just didn't feel nearly as good as it looked. Not that it even really looked all that great, but it just didn't feel very locked in. And one of the things that I've been trying to do is making sure that while I'm doing these kind of quasi AMRAP sets, that I'm staying away from grinding through bad technique, and that I'm keeping the bar moving as quickly as possible and with the form that I'm trying to maintain. So I don't want to let the last couple of reps of each set reinforce bad technique. So you will see that I shut them down a little bit early. I finished the final week of the safety bar pause squats here with a top set of 370 for 5. Which all moved pretty well, getting good power out of the hole. This was kind of a learning experience as well, because I can see that I still need to work on figuring out how to cue my head and shoulders back into the bar. That way I'm not just letting the hips shoot up, and I can get the hips underneath the bar even faster. So you can see on these last couple sets that I did get dumped forward, which is kind of the purpose of using this bar. But that's something that I'm going to work on cueing better in the weeks to come. And I did end up using just a regular pause squat this week, since this is last week's training. So followed those with a top set of 325 for 5 on the front squats. I'm going to drop these down to triples starting the following week. I'm going to be bypassing the scheduled deload that I had written in just kind of as a floater week, because I really don't think that I need it. I think I was pretty beat up the week before and just kind of stressed out, and that's why the squats weren't feeling so great. But my other 2 lifts have been going pretty well. My pec is healed up, so I didn't actually bench this week or the week before this, but I benched in this video here for the first time in about a week and a half. I think I took about 7 to 10 days down on it, but that's starting to come up as well, and I'll be changing a few things with the bench programming as well. So moving on to my deadlift session here, since I dropped the rack or block pulls out of rotation from last week I only pulled a 615 from the blocks, so they didn't hit my weight or any reps at what I was trying to shoot for, so those get dropped out of rotation. And now the safety bar deadlift stance box squats are now the first exercise on my deadlift day. I managed to gut out 12 reps here with 330, and they all looked way better than they felt. And you can see towards the end of the set I ended up having to kind of grab onto the hooks on the mono to just kind of regain my breath and just not be as lightheaded and dizzy and nauseous. So still managed to hit 12. I'm going to shoot for something between 10 and 12 this coming week, which is tomorrow on the day that I'm shooting this, with I believe 350. So if I can still hit 350 for 10, I'll be really happy with that. It's just going to get really difficult from here on out, because these are tough, and now that I'm getting up towards a little bit heavier weight, they're really difficult, but I can still feel the carryover from them. My drive off of the floor with my main pulls has gone up. My ability to hold position and keep my back moving upwards with my deadlift has also gone up, so happy with that still. This is my top working set for my deads. I was shooting for at least 10 reps here with 455, and by the time I knocked out the first 5, I was like, oh shit, I'm definitely getting 10. So I ended up hitting 12 here, and these felt really great. My movement is really smooth. You can see that I'm keeping the knees slightly pushed out, which is keeping the hips engaged all the way through the lift. And I had a pretty decent glute and hamstring pump by the time I was done with these, which was good. Means that I'm driving my lockout from the right place instead of relying on my back strength to finish the lift. So these were horrendously difficult towards the end, even though they started off really smooth. Ended up having to spend a couple of minutes on the floor just laying on my face to come back to life before I could even get up and go shut the camera off and everything. So these are moving next week. Tomorrow I'm going to be going for 480 for hopefully 10 to 12 reps again. And then the following week will be 500 or 505, I believe, for hopefully 10. So these keep progressing. I haven't had to drop the deadlift-stance box squats or stop pulling from a deficit yet. So I think by the time I'm down in the 5 reps, I should be in the mid 500s from a deficit. So that's pretty exciting as well. Moving into my bench day, which happened on Saturday, what I'll be doing here just to kind of allow myself to still bench but not put any additional stress on the pec since it's still healing up, is just working AMRAP sets here as well. I started my warm-ups a little bit lighter, warmed up in 5s instead of in doubles, and then hit this top set of 250 for 11 reps, which again I could have squeaked out a 12th one, but I did not want to grind any reps out since that pec is still healing. So this moved okay, nothing super exciting. Followed it with 3 sets of 10 to 12 on the close grip on the set that I show here in the video. I miscounted, thought I was at 12. I think I was only at like 9, so I came back and hit the remaining reps right afterwards. So followed that with just some front delt accessory work, some more triceps, and then that's it. So it's really focusing on splitting my bench volume between my 2 days. That way I'm not over stressing anything on one given day and then expecting to be able to train it again later in the week. So we'll see how this keeps working. That is it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like it, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Facebook and on Instagram. I'm back on Twitter, although it's all secondhand stuff posted from other things. And as always, be sure to check out the programs we have going on here at the gym and the events at www.savagegym.com.